Afternoon, John. Yeah, of course I can get my team on the Cadburys project. Right, they'll be done as soon as possible for you. See you later, Doc. We'll consider it done.
Cadburys is a confectionery company that was founded in the 1800s by John Cadbury. They are currently owned by Mondelez International. They produce a large range of products from chocolate bars to drinks and other viable products, the Cadbury's Dairy Milk Bar being its most popular. Dairy Milk Marvellous Creations is an example of innovation in chocolate confectionery. Launched in 2013, the bar centres around a playful experience through unusual flavours, different textures and sensations. Flavours that are brought together is what gives the bar a unique selling point, in comparison to your standard dairy milk or any other bars on the market. The current flavours include Jelly Popping Candy, Cookie Nut Crunch and Cola Pretzel Honeycomb. And now for a brief history on the dairy milk. The dairy milk launched in 1905. In 1928, the glass and a half symbol was introduced. The same year, investment also began into dairy milk's advertising. 1970 saw a vast increase in sales due to the hugely successful and memorable TV campaigns. 2007 saw the launch of the famous Cadbury's Gorilla advert. 2009, dairy milk became fair trade, and in 2013, Dairy Milk adapted and evolved themselves to introduce the Marvellous Creations range. Mondelez International, who were then Kraft Foods, invited Bulletproof to collaborate on the launch of a new chocolate variant. Their ambition was to create a total experience among consumers, this being from the moment the product was seen on the shelf, to purchasing the product, to then eating the last piece. The new chocolate bar, being Marvellous Creations, would combine unexpected ingredients we knew and love, coated in delicious Cadbury dairy milk and shaped into a new format. New flavours that were to be released were what would give the product its unique selling point compared to other dairy milk products that were available on the shelf. Bulletproof stated that Cadbury wanted to launch a new bar that disrupts category conventions while remaining true to the brand essence of Cadbury Dairy Milk. They also said that the final brand identity, packaging design and variant naming was choreographed under an ownable circus theme, while keeping the distinct dairy milk cues resulted in a simply marvellous creation.
To promote these marvellous creations, Cadbury's decided to use the following sources of media: television, outdoor, PR, digital, sampling and in-store activation. Cadbury's television advertisements to date have been a huge success in capturing their audience and increasing brand awareness. They decided to do the same for the launch of Marvellous Creations and introduced a 6-week television campaign costing them £7 million. The theme of the advertisement was based upon the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory concept and showed the production process of the chocolate. This emphasised the brand's attempt to establish a playful product, of which Marvellous Creations very much is. The unusual chocolate brand was also a sponsor for Let Me Entertain You, a family-based Saturday night production aired weekly on ITV, along with being aired during many other popular programmes on this same channel. Throughout this advertisement, it was evident to see the clear use of the communications process model, whereby the source would be Cadbury's. The encoded message that they're trying to get across is to highlight the traditionality of the brand whilst introducing the playfulness trend of their new release. The medium would be television, and the decoded message would be that upon watching the advertisement, the consumer becomes aware that Cadbury's have released a new, innovative chocolate bar, and those that have viewed and understood the advert are deemed as the receiver. In the communications process model, noise is deemed as anything that prevents the customer or consumer from viewing the product. As previously mentioned, the advert is mainly aired between the breaks of rather popular Saturday night entertainment shows on the ITV channel. Therefore, it can be argued that the noise in this case could simply be anything from a toilet break to a discussion of the programme in question.
When evaluating the confectionery market, it's clear to see that Cadbury have strong competition. Research has shown that Cadbury, Mars and Nestlé account for 87% of sales in the confectionery market. Therefore, this shows that Cadbury's main competitors are likely to be Mars and Nestlé. To evaluate their overall competitiveness, an evaluation of their marketing communication has been conducted. Mars is an American food manufacturer founded in 1911 who are responsible for brands such as Galaxy and M&M's. Galaxy. From looking at Galaxy's iconic Audrey Hepburn TV advert, it's clear to see that they focus on a more classical approach to promotion compared to Cadbury's fun and light-hearted promotion. Galaxy appears to target a more higher end of the confectionery market and a more older consumer. However, Galaxy received negative press for using the late Audrey Hepburn's image, with articles suggesting that the TV ad was a huge risk, which has the potential to creep out the audience. In contrast to Galaxy's promotion, M&M's focus more on comedy as the main appeal. However, M&M's comedy is more appropriate for adults, suggesting that they tend to target adults, which contrasts Cadbury's family-focused image. However, M&M's have also received negative press due to how appropriate the comedy and the advertising may be, with journalists suggesting that M&M's often venture into the PG-13 territory. Journalists also state that sex does not sell.
Aero. Aero is another popular chocolate that Nestle offers. The main slogan for their 2009 ad is "Fill the bubbles." Similar to other chocolates discussed, they use the inside filling as the focal point. The £7 million ad was Aero's first promotional activity in a long time. To create a successful promotional return, Nestle used skateboarding star Bob Burnquist to encourage consumers to purchase. Another bar that Nestle brought out was Wonka bars. They too tried to bring out an innovative chocolate bar with an off-the-wall filling. Similarities with the Marvellous Creation bar are through the use of quirky fillings as their unique selling point. According to Marketing Magazine, the battle for share of the fantastical chocolate category is heating up after the launch of Nestle's Wonka brand range of chocolate, which draws a touch of pure imagination to take on the joy of Cadbury's successful Joyville brand strategy of recent years, which birthed Marvellous Creation range. Through little to no promotional marketing on Nestle's behalf due to demand concerns, Cadbury took competitive advantage. Promotional activities. Sales promotion can also be referred to as any incentive used by manufacturers or retailers to provide trade with other retailers or with other channel members or with consumers to buy brands. In 2012, Nestle launched a competition with the slogan, "We will find you," incentivising 6 potential customers to purchase any of the 4 Nestle brands, Yorkie, Aero, Kit Kat Chunky and Kit Kat Four Fingers, in order to win £10,000 delivered by a special team. The campaign largely promoted itself through posters and a TV advertisement. Promotion pitched around the same time as Cadbury's launch of Marvellous Creations. Key similarities are with the Willy Wonka theme, as the Marvellous Creation advert and the competition advertisement essentially incorporated a GPS version of a golden ticket. Marvellous Creation advertisement, in comparison, is a more playful interpretation of a Willy Wonka theme, with the idea that the consumers get lost in Joyville. Consumers would be ideally families. However, the advert for the competition takes a more modern approach to the theme, as the target audience would be male consumers.
Right, so following on from the competition, the next thing that we should probably be looking at is the consumer behaviour and how they would be looking at purchasing products and how they see things on the shelves. So the first thing that we can find is, sort of researching from Intel, is that 78% of consumers actually purchase their food and their confectionery in a supermarket, such as Asda or Tesco, and 42% actually deciding what they want when they're in the store. So that just sort of shows you how impulsive purchasing confectionery actually is, and the importance of actually standing out on the shelf in the shop in comparison to just having a lot of advertising. So that's why the brand and the way the product looks is such a huge part of the marketing of the product. Only 30% of consumers actually know what they want when they buy, when they actually go to buy something from a shop, and 28% of consumers are actually swayed depending on new flavours or new product ranges, which is something that's great for Cadbury's because they're constantly releasing new flavours and new creations with their Marvellous Creations range, such as their Smashables. So it's something that is really important. I mean, Cadbury's have really recognised the importance of standing out on the shelves and failed to actually trademark their iconic purple packaging, but despite being unable to trademark it, they've still got their iconic look when you're actually looking at them in the shops. Right, so we've looked at the consumer behaviour, so the next step is to actually look at the consumers of Cadbury. Now, we mentioned previously that it's a family brand, and as such we need to look at both adults and children. So I'll be looking at adults as part of the family, and a parent, they're more likely to have the purchasing power. So they're the ones who we really need to be actually convincing to buy the product. Now, when purchasing, as discussed earlier, a lot of it is done on impulse when in the shop, and according to the foot building grid model, purchasing confectionery and sweets is actually a relatively low involvement model, and it's quite a low involvement product. So we need to just make it stand out more on the shelves to appeal more to adults. So we've kept the classic branding of the product and the packaging. We just need to make sure that we're targeting the adults and making sure that they are a focus and that they are being drawn to our products and our brand.
On the other hand, children have a high involvement when making a decision on the type of chocolate they want. This starts with thinking about the chocolate they want, how they feel about the chocolate they want, and what they have to do to get the chocolate. Cadbury Marvellous Creations TV ad centres around a Willy Wonka theme, indirectly persuading children of the new product Marvellous Creations. Children influence and change adults' purchase decisions by applying pressure. Powell et al. Said that there are different forms of pasta power depending on their age. 3 to 4-year-old children would cry, scream, frown, or throw tantrums, whereas 7 to 8-year-old children would negotiate, saying statements such as, "I was well behaved."
So now we've got a bit more of an insight into what the brand actually can offer and what the product actually is and what they're doing at the moment. I think it's time to actually sort of critique and see how we can improve on the brand. I mean, while there are several things that are good, I mean, there's still room for improvement, and obviously that's what we're looking to do, how we can make the marketing better and what strategies we can offer. So I think probably one of the best things to start off with is actually the product itself.
Now, when we look at it, we can tell straight away it's fun, it's exciting, it's got colour, it's got like this clown hat. You can see it's Dairy Milk, it's clear, it's purple, it's the classic colour, the classic theme. And to me, I feel like this is good enough as it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much we can do. I mean, at the moment, what we want to make sure we're doing is staying loyal to the brand, and
Precisely.
not only that, loyal to the customer.
They want to keep it consistent. It got the same font, the same colours, the same taste, the same ingredient. All you've got is some added things, and that's what I really like about it personally. You know, it's something different, and I don't think we should change it. You know, I really don't think we should change it. Oh, I got a call from Cash. Hi, Cash.
Just wanted to catch up with you just to quickly discuss the television advertisement for Marvellous Creations. Yeah, just wanted to critically discuss it because although they did, you know, a good job at targeting the children within the market,
Oh, yeah, very
the
good.
use of the chocolate factory, and everybody was in the factory working together to make the product come to life, I feel like they failed in terms of targeting the older generation. Those people would consist of, you know, the parents and the carers, the guardians of those children that would want the product, and so therefore they would be classed as the purchasers. Now,
yeah, that's true.
I feel like the purchasers have more of an important interaction with the product, because if they don't have that interaction with it, then they're not obliged to purchase it. So I feel like if they were targeted a bit more within the promotion and the advertising, they might have had more of a successful campaign.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my ideas, guys. So just tell me what you think. If you have
No, I think you've got a point there.
And if not, I'll see you later.
Alright, so yeah, she's right. It's about involvement, not just the kids. It's about involving the parents and changing the purchasing decisions.
And they've done that actually with their outdoor promotions. I mean, they were really successful in their ballroom campaigns. They received huge praise for it, and it helped to raise awareness of the brand, which obviously is what they were looking to do. However, while they were in these big locations in these big cities, it wasn't accessible to everyone. They did it in big places, so they did do it in a couple of places, but yeah, I mean, you're right, they didn't do enough. They've got the big cities out of the way. This is a family brand. It's got to be times when families can go out together.
Come together, exactly. And see it together. They need to experience this together. It's not something that you just throw it in the bag and eat it on the way to work or after my shift. It's like, I want to share it with someone. I want them to know that I've tasted something different. Not that plain chocolate. I want them to feel that whole experience of the popping candy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that
The brand has done. I mean, they could do that. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big pop-up stand. They've got so much advertising out there.
Yeah.
So we can make something that links technology with the current advertising we've got. We're going to have posters up, we're going to have billboards.
Definitely.
Why don't we make use of them with technology?
So we need to interlink, we need to embrace it, and I think that's what we're doing. I mean, already on the packaging we have got the QR codes, scan here for joy. It leaves the customers wondering. If the consumer's interested in this, they're going to scan it. They're going to something new to me, and I think I'd embrace it. I think that's a great idea to interlink this.
Carries on with the idea that the brand is family focused. That's something we want to focus on as well. It's a family brand, and as such, family activities should be a huge part of what Cadbury's are offering, and what they're based around. I mean, similarly, the advertising can be sent out to family audiences, whether that can be like a widespread way of sending it out to people. I'm not sure how it could be done yet, but it could be sort of a way to spread it out towards everyone in the family.
Right.
But there's also while we're focusing largely on parents and young children, there's also the teenage market we've got to focus on as well, and the younger teenagers who may not want to spend this much time with their parents. So we can link that in together. I mean, like I said before, everyone has smartphones. I reckon we should just pass this on to the rest of the team and see what ideas they can come up with, and sort of see how we can improve on what Cadbury's have already got. Yeah.
I think we should move forward, go speak to the brand and the team, and see what we can do.
Yeah, definitely.
Sound like a plan?
Perfect.
Let's do it.
So guys, now that we have finished our research, what do you guys suggest for Cadbury and their Marvellous creations? How would they move forward?
I think that in terms of their television advertisements, I'm sure you guys would agree with me, that they need to be a bit more appealing to adults, because at the moment they're focusing on children. They have Willy Wonka, they have the factory. So if they was to have an older advert, maybe bring it back, or if they was to create an advert that resembles, you know, back in the days, like a nostalgic type of advertisement that might appeal to them a bit more, maybe?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Definitely, I agree.
Capture a bit of a mature audience.
Yeah.
Around.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
What about you, Yas?
Okay, well, while they do need to focus on their older audience, with their younger audience, whilst they are kind of using the Willy Wonka theme to get to them, I feel like that they can get greater exposure through in-app advertising. So while kids are on their phones or iPads or anything and they're playing their games, we can use Dairy Milk's Marvellous Creations adverts to appeal to the children, and as Natalie discussed earlier with Pester Power, they can then influence the parent, especially as Mintel found that there was a rapid increase in smartphone ownership. Personal ownership of smartphones in the UK has increased by 20 percentage points from January 2012 to June 2015, reaching 76% penetration. So I think that's good evidence for us to go in that direction.
Yeah. Especially these days, like every kid's got an iPhone.
Exactly.
Everyone, yeah.
Yeah.
And carrying from that, we could possibly in the future make like an app or a game where you could like win, or it could be like a competition where you could win promotions or win free chocolates, or something we can link it up with the outside advertising as well.
Perfect.
So like possibly have like a QR code, because they're everywhere at the moment, and we could link the app with the camera, and then possibly they could collect points from each of the QR codes that they collect, and then win a free chocolate or a 20% voucher or something like that, to just expand further. And that could also engage the whole family as well, since it's a family brand that Cadbury's representing. It could link between family, they could share QR codes or something like that, or win prizes for the whole family.
I think that's a really good idea, and also like to get the word out there, we could put that on social media. Maybe create like a new campaign with a hashtag. We'll come up with like a nice little hashtag, give out some freebies and get the app going.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it, because like us telling our friends is not going to be enough. We need to get out there, put it directly from Cadbury's themselves, rather than our own Twitter account. and just do it. Put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, and put it on Twitter, and let's just move forward.
That's true.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That'll work well.
Especially with the coupons, like I think coupons are what's most important.
Hmm.
What about you, Mary? What do you think?
I agree with that because direct mail has seen a dramatic lift in investment in 2014, and I think that we should post coupons and incentives through family homes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So like areas where there's a lot of kids and stuff, like
Yeah, because
near schools.
near schools, yeah,
Okay. I think that's
as
really
the
good.
coupons will act as an incentive
True.
for the consumer to purchase more
Yeah,
distributions, therefore they try the product. And also when you're posting the coupon through the front door of a family home,
Yeah.
the whole family gets exposed to the promotion. So then it
I think that's really good. Like, I don't know why she's after it. I think
the whole
just wants the
family
coupons already.
exposed to the promotion.
Yeah.
Which
And
widens the reach for
True,
Cadbury.
definitely. And I just think no one turns down free chocolate, so
True.
I think this is the way we should go forward.
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure. And we'll pitch it to our bosses,
Good
see what
idea.
they say.
Hopefully they'll take up some of the recommendations.
Exactly.
Great work, guys.
Great work.
That's the end of the day. Let's go.